Good morning. Uh, Depending on the zone you have yourself, good morning, good evening, and then good afternoon. And welcome to today's weekly forecast for the 11th years of March. The trade has moved as expected, and this is weekly chart of DXY. It has moved as expected, and while all these were going on, you could have, doubt that, okay, it will move, it will go back up and all of that. So now we see that this price action is going to close in a matter of few hours, and it's bearish again. Now, this is power of analysis. This is power of structure, knowing structure and your analysis. And there is a whole lot, about, Forex. Nothing is useless. No knowledge actually is useless. But your wave analysis and structure, what you expect of structure, is very key. More than any indicators, because your structure and wave that you're seeing, is way ahead of what any indicator is going to tell you. So I don't make use of any indicator. Now, there are other tools of technical analysis that we know about. Your trend lines, your support, your resistance, the trend support, the trend resistance. These also can come in handy if you know your structure and wave count very well. Where the trend line comes in for you, which is the trend support and the trend resistance comes in for you, it will help you to see if the momentum is dying off. And it can also help you to navigate the internal structure completion or about being completed in any time frame. What I'm trying to say is that if you are on, let's say, a 1 hour time frame, and if it's with one of that time frame that is ongoing, or with A, as the case may be, if it's correcting, and you are able to piece, the trend it's making at that time, the first high and the first low together, and you connect the trend, be it support or resistance, at that time frame, it can help you to see that the momentum is dying off, because it's going to come to cross the line. So you want to be able to tell, okay, am I in wave one? Am I in wave two? Then, of course, wave three of it probably is going to go a bit sharper up. And that's how to use it. And you use it on different time frame, to 4 hour to daily time frame, and it helps you to see if the momentum is dying off or not, and how to proceed. The challenge for most has remained how to make consistent gain or profit while trading. Yes. Now you can say, okay, in a way you understand what structure is all about and what wave count is all about. Oh, this is going to be the whole direction of the trade, as we are seeing. Oh, this will be the direction of the trade, and how to make gains and profit is what, again, I will be shedding lights on today, and what you can do. Now, there is no doubt about the fact that now we are going down. We are seeing this as an A, A or the first move. And usually it's always better, because if you are saying it's wave one, you are actually jumping ahead of time. It's not good to be too optimistic. You have to be sure that this is beyond wave A before you begin to say, oh, it's actually a wave one on this time frame, which is the weekly time frame here. So let me continue to regard this as a wave A, the first wave A. Then after this first wave A, which is impulsive, we are talking of correction, this is wave A of the correction. Okay, the main A, wave A of the correction. And usually in wave B usually gives a more complex pattern. That's A of B, B of B, and a C of B. It's always like that on any time frame. It is almost always like that on any time frame. When you see wave A of the correction, then wave B will give you A, B, C of B. Then the last one, which is a wave C. So of course, this A and a C, and this is A, B, C of wave B, which is in the direction of the trade, and it pulls much lower. That's what we expect. And the O configuration at a triangle 1, 2, 3 give us an extended flat, which we saw. And anybody could have read this wrongly, extended flat as, oh, we are going up again and again too. And one of the things, again, you can see if you're still correcting on any time frame, it's the momentum of the candle that you are seeing. The momentum of the candle that you are seeing will tell you. When you see this kind of a momentum of a candle, it's quite impulsive. Even on the weekly time frame, it's quite impulsive, and the way it died off here. And even here, when you add this momentum to the downside, and it went up like gradually, to you on the lower time frame is a big move. Yeah, it's a big move. And coming down to, you can see the momentum candle also, 1, 2, 3, coming down. And that will always be telling you the direction of the trade, most likely the direction of the trade. Now, correcting upwards, you can see that, of course, it was small moves and it's dying off. Then we are going to be seeing bigger moves with time. Maybe by the time we are breaking this low, you're likely to be seeing something as big as this. And so we are, going to be expectant and catching on, every move to an opportunity to, achieve our gain, which is, getting profit. So this is A, and this is a B, completed the wave and B. So we are going to a bigger C now. And this is the initial part of the bigger C. So we are seeing these as the first wave. We can say a one of a bigger move, or a two of a bigger move. But having said that, there is a 1 and a 2, I just want us that, okay, let's first deal with it, even though we know this is going to go and become a big as this. Then conservatively, we can say it's an A and it's a B. So if we say it's an A and it's a B, what do we expect? That this now is turning down. Let's first do an 100 extension. Again, let's do a 123 extension. Again, let's go past 1618 extension. So the moment we go past 1618 extension, then we can now begin to call that, oh, this is now 1, 2, 3 to the downside, and not A, B, C again. So we have to, go beyond the limit of what is A, B, C before we now switch in our head to 1, 2 instead of A, B, C. Let's start with A, B, C. Even though there's a strong indication from what I'm seeing that it's going to be 1, 2, 3, but let's start with A, B, C. The first milestone is 100 extension to the downside, and the second milestone is 123. The third one is 1618, and once you go beyond that, we are expecting a 1, 2, 3 to the downside. Now, especially what to do to the downside also, we are looking at this also as an 100 extension on the bigger time frame. We have to, click or tick that milestone also on the bigger time frame as an 100 extension first before we begin to think of 123 or 161.8 on a bigger time frame. So that's how to proceed. So now, what do I expect now? This is growing, and it's not done. It's not done at all. Before we can say, oh, maybe it's a once. We need to get to at least 100 of these, okay? But having said that, we need to even push 100 extension of the internal structure first before we can think of a possible correction to the upside. I will do this on DXY before going to euro dollar. So I can't be thinking of a possible correction. Of course, if you're going to have a possible correction, let's have this end first, and let's see if we are coming here to test this area or not. We need to, you'll be jumping to expect correction to come here now. You'll be jumping. This may be signaling that we are approaching correction, but it may not even close this way. What I see in this area now may just be that we are trying to, even on the daily now, yeah, that's doji. We are trying to consolidate or correct. But that we have finished this, I don't think so. Let me bring out the structure on the lower time frame so that you understand what I'm trying to say. This is the move now. And this is like an AB, and it could be a 1-2, like I said. But we need to take an 100 extension here first to think of a possible correction, a deep correction. Let me go on 4-hour time frame. I need you to see that. Now, again, this is the move. I'm not interested in whatever is happening here, and I'm not interested in whatever support or resistance that this is giving me. I'm not interested in all of that. What I'm interested in now is I see this as an A and a B, and is this done to correct? Then that is what I'm interested in. Again, we are again going to look at the nature of this. Is it impulsive? Is it corrective to the downside? It is impulsive to the downside. So if it's impulsive to the downside, I need to be counting this wave. Okay. So on the 4-hour time frame, let me bring out my drawing. So bring it out my drawing. So I want you to see something. Bringing out my drawing. I really want you to see that. Let me just take all this off for you to see. I don't need all this. All these were done when we were trying to do some analysis. So I'll just leave. Now, trade didn't come to this, and it's out. Of course, at this point, that was where I expect trade to move back. And this is the highest point now. So if we are using blue, I could just use that blue here now. So this is the point of that's the highest point now. So if I'm using blue, so I can continue to use that blue here. So looking at what has happened here, I think this has finished a 1, 2, 3 somewhere, and this will be like a 3 here. This will be like a 3 here, and I'm just counting that because that is what happens really. A 4. So the correction here is a 4. Here is a 4, 3, 4, and the fifth wave to the downside. That is not my business here now. So this is the fifth wave to the downside, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the first wave, which is a wave A, and a WXY of a wave 2, which is a B. So we can name that as a 1 or a B or anything. So, but let me still take it as let's use A for that. Of course, it can grow to be a 1, just like I said. Your understanding of what I'm doing is key to your success. So, and that is it now. So we've broken out of here. So I don't need this anymore. But if I need it, I will probably need it for something else. Okay. So we want to at least see off to a C. You want to at least see up to a C, which could also go beyond a C and becomes a 1, 2, 3 instead. Now, so this is the first and this is the second, which is AB, and we are done. Okay, so I will need to do this. Now, see, this is, if we find an 100th extension now, we want to look at 100 extension and project. So from here to A, back to B. You know, this was used when we were trying to say, okay, if it breaks beyond a 0.04, then we are in a new wave. So these are served its purpose. So from here now, we can see that these, in the internal structure of the wave itself, this has done, it has done 100 in that place. That is where 100 is. This is where 127 is. And this is where 161.8 is. Here. Okay. So I need to push that here. 100 is taken out. Yet to take 127 out. So in fact, the reaction that we are seeing, it's occurring at about 123. Let's just go to 123 here, because I just 123 or 127. So the reaction is occurring around 123. So that's 123 here. We need to see if we're going to break beyond it here, and it will now stop being what? ABC or 1, 2, 3. So we can see what I've done here. Now, where to break is this now, as we are trending down. I like pinpoint. So we are working against this trend resistance now. We are done with the internal structure of this on this lower time frame, and we are done with this also on this lower time frame. Now we are seeing this as a 1 and a 2, maybe here as an A, B, C. This had finished a 5, and this is the internal structure of a wave 3. Now, I said something about how to use our trend line also to see if the momentum is dying off or not. Now, to do that, I come from this peak. You can serve as a guide to know when this is burning off. That will change the color now. So we will know when this particular wave is dying off and it's about finishing its own course. We will know. Now, this is 1 and a 2. And if this is going to grow into something else, this may just be a 3-1. It could be a 3-1. And they could give us a 4 and a 5, and that's all. And they will not correct big. So anything could happen here. So in the internal structure of this, so this is the first correction here. That's the first correction here. And we may take it, this is like a 4. No, this is like a, yeah. So let's see what it gave us, because we have to look at the fib relationship between here and that time frame. That is a bit short, but it's a 2 anyway. It's a 2 anyway. So it's a 2 anyway. This is a 2, and this is part of 3. Even on this time frame, when looking at this this structure in itself, so it's gone past 161.8, you know, of this and this. So what we are going to see is to think that now, if this is the limit for now, are we seeing a 4? Where will that 4 terminate? That will guide us. Fourth wave should not go beyond here. Price also always guide us, but we don't see it most of the time because it has given us a primary fall around this area. No, around this area. Yeah. After this, it pushed up to give a primary fall here, and we are seeing probably a bigger fall, and then we need to see how this one is going to correct. So what I'm trying to say now is that this is correcting for a push-up. If this is going to continue to go and test towards this, the momentum needs to die off first and come close to this trend line before breaking it. And I'm just telling us, all these are gimmicks, all these are clues for us to know if something is ready to correct deep or not. So it's not ready to correct deep now. If it's going to correct deep, maybe they need to waste more time consolidating around this area to see if you're going to break above here. So once we break above here, then you know it's now correcting deep. And that deep will now be from here to this as a limit, maybe an ABC correction. So it won't be your starting point will not be here. It will now be from here to here. You are looking at a 61.8 retracement or a 78. So if I come again, for now, we are looking at from here to this point, it will be a fourth wave. So once we go past here, then we will know that this is not fourth wave again, but we are doing a bigger correction. Then you take your tools from here to this place to know that, oh, we are doing a big correction of this move, not from here, but from here. So once we go past this. So that's how to guide ourselves. But for now, we still need this price to waste more time. If it's going to consolidate really here and waste more time, crossing this and crossing this one, crossing this two to do a bigger correction. So, but we are still far from that. I see that we may just do a 4 and still break above one more time to tick 161.8 before we think of, oh, we are going to do a big correction to the downside. And if that is not going to be a 3-1 and a 3-2, we'll see. And if we are going to do a 3-1, a 3-2, then we'll see. Now, this is for our time frame. Now, it is after you understand what I just explained here. That is what you are going to bring here also. That is what I'm going to bring here also to understand where this is likely going to first tick as an 100. Let me try and okay. In trying to understand this, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, we can now say that this is, let me just change that. So this becomes a 1. Let's gather this here. I'm going to come to that later because we are done here. And this now becomes, so we don't need all of this anymore. So we don't need all of this anymore for now. They are useless to us. Just like I said, we may take it as an A or a B. So if we are going purple on that time frame, we are going purple on that time frame. And we are going purple. We need to take this out. Most of the time, you know, why do we think we expect price to correct somewhere? We will be expecting price to correct. One price is coming here. So that may be where this might be ending a wave 1 or a 3-1. It might breach it or anything. Before we now say, oh, we're now going to have a 3-2 deep. So you must expect all these dynamics and why you want to relinquish position when price is crossing this area, at least your shallow positions, not probably the deep one, your shallow positions, you might want to relinquish them, you know, when price is coming around this area, almost finishing is count to do a deeper pullback, which will now test against this trend line. Or perhaps this trend line. Now, we are now looking at purple now. Call this purple now. At least we have talked about 100, how to navigate 100, 1, 2, 3, 161.8 here first before we think of a possible pullback. Once we pull beyond this one, then we know that it's still growing, okay? Now, the same thing we're going to do here, where we expect first price to get to. On purple, it's at least 100. So the same way we take our 100, it's going to go low now. So at least we expect that before we can say probably it's an ABC, price must come here. Price at least must get to this point. So it's a big move that we are expecting. Price will not, once price crosses this area, price will not do anything otherwise until it touches this area. And if it's going to go beyond what an ABC is, we will know. At 123, the cycle of broccoli continues like that. I'm just showing us how we try to trade and our expectation, our where we expect price to tick before anything. So, like that. We are taking all of that like that. So if I go again to the upper time frame, let me try and zoom in or zoom out. Let me zoom in, okay. You just transfer this knowledge to euro dollar now. So this is what we talked about now. So we are looking against this bigger cycle here, which is A1 or A, B, and we are looking at potentially coming to this area. Coming to this area of 161.8. Then you now begin to look at this, also this one here. Let me use red for that. So price didn't test here. So it didn't actually visit that area. So we now begin to, in that case, because we're now looking at red, we turn this base to a red. Okay, we turn that base to a red. Then this also now becomes a red on that time frame. Becomes a red to know where at least the first 100 will be. I believe this is helping you to see how the broccoli cycle works. And I will limit the move to an 100 of this cycle, because price will do more than 161.8 in the smaller cycle. But I will first limit this to an 100 first of this cycle to know that this is where we are coming to. And this is where we are coming to, at least 100 here. I don't want this one to confuse us. So, yeah, out. Minimum price will take this area. Minimum price will take this area. Minimum. The way this price comes in here, the kind of momentum it drives also will suggest if it's going to walk past this area. Or at least minimum, this is where we are coming to. That's a big move that we'll still have. So you still have the opportunity of making at least decent money coming to the downside. Still a long way to go. Let me go back to 4-hour time frame. Now, I said something about making, opportunities of making money inside this and this and this. This is still growing far away from here. Any correction you see will be an opportunity for you to, for instance, here, when this was driving, a move, an ABC correction is an opportunity for you to launch. If you miss this, you shouldn't miss this. And A, B, sorry, and yeah, A, B, C correction is for opportunity to add a position here. You don't have to close this position. Then a move, again, an A, B, C is an opportunity for you to load here, while you are trying to also navigate and count the internal structure. A move, an A, B, C opportunity for you to load here, and this move. Now, when you get here and you see the kind of what the price is trying to do in this area too, because this is the move here, and the use of your trend line first on that 1 and 2. That was what I was trying to teach. On that first 1 and 2, suggest that price is working, just in tandem with this trend line first, as you are counting your wave. And you see that it bounces off here and it comes here. The first time price crosses here tells you that price is done with this wave count. That's what is showing you. Price is done with this wave count. Even from here, if you are not able to see it, if I go to the, let me see the time log here so that I can show you on the 15 minutes time frame what to expect, because we've been counting this. If you had counted it 1, 2, a 3, a 4, and this is the 5th one. With this sharp move, you will know that this is an impulse. And when you see this as an impulse, you know that this has finished its move on this 1 hour time frame. And the only thing you can do is to look for your correction, because if you have a position here and you have a position here, you may leave this position to run, but you have a position and you have a position here. You are looking for these 2 positions. Where do I relinquish them? Where you relinquish them, it's at least look for a 50 retracement or a 61.8 retracement of this move to the upside. You have done that. So this is 61.8. Is if it even touched 76, but a 50, a 61.8 will be ideal for you to close these 1 and your positions here, which is your added positions. You have backed that. You may still have this and this running. And if you want, you can close this position and you are leaving this to run. So there's nothing wrong in having a deeper position still running while you are taking this out. Then all you want to do is you want this to take an advantage of the move, because you know you are moving to the downside in case you miss opportunity. Then what you're now planning is to have a bigger position around this area, because this is a correction of a WXY around this area. Okay. Now, how do I know that the price is probably done? Because I've counted a 1, a 3, a 4. How do I know that this is done? The first thing is to see what exactly is happening around this area before this crosses. And that is what we are expecting. We are expecting also that when price is done to move, price will be working itself very close to this trend line. You can see a move, a pull away from that trend line close to it, because it's just an initial move, and because we one also is very highly corrective, and it won't pull that much away from the trend resistance or support as it may be. And we saw this move again, price came back to it, and again price broke it Initial break, price is telling you I'm dying off. So the first sign is a momentum dying off, not against this trend line, not against this trend line, but dying off against this trend line. And of course, it's a new wave that is brewing, which may not be apparent to you until this. So it did this, your opportunity to get out is here. And this is on 1 hour. Let me look at this time log, which is 22nd of 24th of February. Oh no, 22nd of February. So let's go there and log 22nd of February. Let's go to 5 minutes time frame. I hope I will see that. 22nd of February. And 2nd of February. Can I see that? Okay, good. Now this is it. That's 5 minutes time frame, 22nd of February. So we can see that immediately after ABC of the fourth wave, we saw a wave 1, ABC of a 2 of this particular wave. So this is a wave 1 and a wave 2 of this particular wave. Then we saw the 3-1 and ABC of the 3-2, and the price went down. Went down. Now, for you to see a fourth wave here, I won't see it on one hour time frame. And this is like, it's an impulse. So because it's the last wave, it's ending in an impulse. Okay, yeah, you can see it's an impulse. So this is the end of wave 3 here. It pushed up a wave 4 and it ended a wave 5 here and began another impulse here and a 2, and it began to go and to do this wave. So that is what we are seeing now. So if you had known, probably you would have drawn that okay. Let me see if I can do something here. I'm going to take this off later. Let me just change it to here, to this, okay? So this is the low of wave 3 here. If you have seen that, the low of wave 3 here, if you have seen that, so we want to pick the height of a 2. So this is the height of a 2 here, which is the last wave. And what you want to see is the thing pushing outside of. You could even take it from here, from the low, in case you don't know. That's when would it be out? And it's going to be a 4. So at this point here, if you don't know, once the price crosses that area, if you don't know, that's the limit of what you're for. Taking this as a 2, that's the limit of what you're for. Once you push out here, it is more than 4, then you are going up. So this is the point that you will know that you are going up. Around this blue also, let me just try to break this blue so that we know that it's around that area. Once I go back to the upper layer time frame on 1 hour time frame. So let me go back to 1 hour time frame. Is a teaching as well. So now, from this wave itself, we had known that crossing this area is an area that the price told us that it's already correcting, and it's done with the inside of this, is done with the inside side of this. And if you don't know, because that's the first thing, I'm being practical here now. I'm going to take time, but I'm being practical because I have to break it down for you. Because when price does this, it may be that, okay, now it's done with this wave fine by crossing, because that's the first thing. Apart from the use of your trend line, if a wave had crossed more than 38 to the upside, it's telling you that probably that wave is completed. So if it's completed, are we now doing a retracement of a 1-2? That's the next thing you have to think about. Are we doing a retracement of it? Because this is the primary two. It didn't break this primary two here. It might be very difficult for you to see if it's going to break it or not. So you look at what is happening here. We have counted this, and we are thinking that, oh, this move to the upside. What is it? A correction of this entire run? Probably we're going to have a 1 and a 2 for more downside. And you try, it did that, it finished that. You want to do your retracement of the old move, and you got here. And it gave you, it broke 85. Can you see? It broke 85, it touched a 90. Once it broke 85, once it broke 76, just know that it's a new wave. Then you are looking for your opportunity to get out. And where you will be your opportunity to get out will be at that 38. So, and you relinquish your position here. I'm just being practical here. I'm breaking it down, the practical terms of how to look for your exit of a shallower entries where you leave the deep entry running, because the deep entry, when it corrects deep like this, it won't get to this point. You can see. So, and this is how to navigate. Use of your trend line has told you that this thing is going up because it didn't cross it here until here. And this area also had marked what? More than 78, more than 85, then it's a new wave, and which could be a corrective wave, and which it turned out to be a WXY in the end of the day. So this now becomes your W, your probably X wave, and ABC of a Y. So, and now we are going to the downside. This is what you take to this point. This is what you take to this point. Price will first walk up to your trend line on any time frame before kissing a goodbye. So we need price to even walk up here. So if these, just like I showed here on a 1 and a 2 scenario here, on a 1 and a 2 scenario here, which is a 2, this is like a 2 here, and we thought that this is the end, and we said, oh, it crossed 38. That scenario is what you need to also come here. Now, if we say this is a 2, even the primary 2 is here. You can see that's the primary 2 at this point. Price will always give us like a tip. This is a primary 2 here. This is a primary 2 here. Price does not break like that without giving you a tip. Okay, so that's the primary 2 here. So and what we are saying is that we are seeing this as a primary 4 here too. This is a primary 4. Usually we can load a primary 4. It's almost the same thing from here.